In school, we're taught about Newton, Einstein, Edison, and Tesla, names repeated endlessly as the fathers of invention. These names echo through textbooks, documentaries, and Hollywood films. They are celebrated as if the entire story of invention belonged to them. But what if I told you that this story is incomplete? What if the greatest lie ever told in classrooms was not about who invented what, but about who was erased? Because hidden beneath the pages of history lies another story, a story of black brilliance. A story of men and women who changed the world in ways you touch every single day. Yet their names were erased from history. In recent decades, DNA studies have revealed connections scientists rarely talk about openly. Unique markers, shared by the vast majority of Black Americans, trace back to ancient African civilizations. And some claim links to the very Hebrews of the Old Testament. 99.9% of African Americans share genetic roots hidden in plain sight. Roots that connect them not only to Africa, but to the earliest civilizations on Earth. Why isn't this taught? Why is this knowledge pushed to the edges of science? Because it challenges everything. It suggests that black people are not just survivors of history, but originators of civilization itself. The traffic lights that keep millions alive, invented by a black man. The blood banks that save lives in every hospital, designed by a black scientist. And the very filaments inside Edison's light bulb, perfected by someone whose name Edison rarely even spoke. And these stories weren't just forgotten, they were buried, suppressed, and rewritten. Because the world was not ready to accept that black inventors had shaped the very foundations of modern life. Today, we lift the veil. In this video, we expose the things invented by black people that scientists, historians, and society tried to erase from history. Imagine a world with no traffic lights. In the early 1900s, streets filled with cars, horses, carts, and pedestrians were reigned by accidents that claimed lives daily. Enter Garrett Augustus Morgan, a black inventor born to formerly enslaved parents in Kentucky. In 1923, he patented the three-position traffic signal, the very system that brought order to roads worldwide. But here's the twist. His invention was often attributed to later refinements by others. Some textbooks never even mention his name. White inventors took center stage while Morgan was quietly pushed to the background. And that wasn't his only contribution. Garrett Morgan also created the gas mask, a life-saving device used by soldiers in World War I and firefighters across America. His design saved countless lives, yet many credit for this innovation went elsewhere. Some patents were reassigned, some credit lost, and once again a black mind was erased from the invention he gave the world. Now picture this, you're in an accident, you're bleeding. Doctors rush to save you, and the tool that saves your life is the blood bank. The ability to store blood, to preserve it for transfusion, to save millions of lives every year. This miracle exists because of Dr. Charles Drew, an African-American physician and surgeon. During World War II, Drew developed large-scale blood banks, revolutionizing emergency medicine. But here's the tragedy. His life-saving discovery came at a time when segregation ruled. Blood donations were separated by race. And the very man who pioneered blood storage resigned from his position because of this racist policy. Even worse, rumors spread after his death in 1950. Some say he died because a white-only hospital refused him treatment after a car accident. No debated, the fact remains his genius was honored by a world that still denied him humanity. Everyone knows the name Thomas Edison, the man who invented the light bulb. But here's the truth your teachers never told you. Edison's bulb would burn out after just a few minutes. It was useless. Enter Lewis Howard Latimer, the son of formerly enslaved people. Latimer invented a carbon filament that allowed bulbs to last much longer, making electric light practical for everyday use. He also drafted the patent drawings for Alexander Graham Bell's telephone. In other words, the two inventions that defined modern life, the light bulb and the telephone, were powered by the genius of a black man. Yet Edison is worshipped in every history book, while Latimer's name barely whispers through footnotes when you pick up fresh fruit in the grocery store, or when medicine arrives chilled and safe. You are touching the legacy of Frederick McKinley Jones. Born in 1893, Jones invented the refrigeration truck, a technology that revolutionized the transport of food, blood, and medicine. Without him, Global supply chains as we know them would not exist. During World War II, his systems preserved blood and medicine for soldiers on the front lines. He saved lives not with a gun, but with brilliance. And yet, ask the average person who created refrigerated trucks and you'll get silence. His contributions rarely make it into textbooks, though entire industries exist because of him. It was not an accident. In the archives, credit was often redirected. White companies made billions, while Jones's name faded into obscurity. Picture a world without dryers, endless days of hanging clothes under the sun, waiting. In 1892, George T. Sampson, an African-American inventor, patented the automatic clothes dryer. His design laid the foundation for every modern dryer found in homes today, but again, his name has been hidden. Companies commercialized and improved on his work, but his story never entered mainstream classrooms. It's another page torn from the book of history. Every neatly cut lawn in suburbia owes thanks to John Albert Burr, who improved the rotary lawnmower in 1899. His design allowed blades to stay clear of dirt and weeds, making lawn care practical and efficient. But Burr's work was barely celebrated in his time. Patent records hold his name, but society erased him from the invention's legacy. Instead, we're taught lawn culture as if it bloomed from nowhere. Another shadow genius. This one might surprise you. Lonnie Johnson was not just an inventor, he was a NASA engineer. His work contributed to the Galileo mission to Jupiter and stealth technology for the Air Force. But his most famous invention? The Super Soaker water gun. A toy, yes, but not just any toy. The Super Soaker generated over $1 billion in sales. Children worldwide grew up with it. And yet for years, Johnson was underpaid, while corporations raked in profits. It wasn't until legal battles that he received the compensation he deserved. But even then, few people know his name. A black man whose genius extended from space exploration to toys that define generations. Silenced in the public eye. Think about every signature, every contract, every love letter once written by hand. Pens are extensions of thought itself. William Purvis, a black inventor, revolutionized the fountain pen by creating a design that fed ink more efficiently, reducing spills and making writing accessible. Without his work, the modern pen as we know it might not exist. And yet his contributions remain buried. When students learn the history of writing, they hear of quills and European inventors, never of Purvis. Now, pause for a moment. Do you notice the pattern? Each invention we've uncovered: traffic lights, blood banks, elevators, refrigeration, dryers, mowers, pens, all essential, all world-changing. Yet, the inventors remain invisible, their names hidden, their stories untold. This is not coincidence. This is design. History is taught in schools is selective. It glorifies Einstein, Newton, Edison, Belle, but erases Morgan, Drew, Latimer, Miles, and so many more. And for some, erasure wasn't enough. There are whispers of patents stolen, of credit reassigned, of inventors who mysteriously disappeared after breakthroughs. And could it be coincidence, or was it deliberate? An attempt to silence black genius, to make history seem one-sided, to hide the truth of who really shaped our world. Have you ever heard the phrase, the real McCoy? It means the genuine article, the authentic thing. That phrase was born from Elijah McCoy, a black Canadian-American inventor. He created automatic lubricators for steam engines, allowing trains and factories to run longer without stopping. His designs were so good that engineers would ask for the real McCoy, not imitations. Think about that. His name became a phrase in the English language. Yet how many know its origin? Once again, the genius is remembered, but the black man behind it is forgotten. Look around you right now, in the light above your head, in the traffic signals guiding cars outside, in the fridge keeping your food fresh, in the blood banks saving lives in hospitals, in the elevators lifting people into skyscrapers, in the heaters warming families in the cold, in the pens writing history itself, and all of it built on the brilliance of black inventors. But how often do you hear their names? How often are they celebrated in classrooms, on television, in museums? Rarely, if at all, because for centuries, history has been rewritten, not just forgotten, erased. Patents stolen, credit reassigned, and achievements buried. Why? Because to tell the truth would be to admit that black people were never just victims of history. They were architects of it, the foundation of it, the very spark of human progress. And yet, there is something even deeper, a truth scientists whisper about but rarely admit: DNA evidence connecting African Americans to ancient civilizations. And whispers that the first people in America may not have been Europeans at all, but Africans. If that is true, if the very origin of civilization, technology, and exploration lies in black hands, then history as we know it is a lie. And maybe that is why so much was erased. Because to reveal the truth would mean rewriting not just textbooks, but the entire story of humanity. So the next time you hear the names Edison, Newton, Einstein, Bell, remember also the names Morgan, Drew, Latimer, Woods, Boom, Banneker, Parker, Boykin, Crum, Johnson, and so many more. Their inventions are not in the shadows. They are everywhere. The only thing hidden is their names. But the veil is lifting. And if this video has opened your eyes, if you believe the truth should no longer be erased, then join us. And subscribe to Veil of Blacks, because what we reveal next will shake history to its core.